Welcome back to Sunset Sessions, hosted by Marco Messina. We have a very special guest who sat on the couch with me, Dimitar Berbatov, two-time Premier League champion, all-time top goal scorer as a Bulgarian. Welcome to Sunset Sports Festival.
Thank you for having me.
Is this your first time at the festival?
First time. Last year I was supposed to come, didn't happen. This year I am here.
What are your thoughts? Are you impressed? There's so many people.
Well, look, on the Balkans, in my opinion, Bulgarian, Croatian, Serbian, Macedonian, we're pretty much all the same. We speak the same language, almost. I can understand it, I can speak it, I have no problem. The sea, the weather, the hotel, everything is perfect, so it's a great place.
Similar values as well, right?
In a way, yes, but that's why, because back in the day I always used to play with Croatian players also. So we are like brothers. I used to play against them with the national team, score a couple of goals as well, but nothing personal.
Who was your closest friend that was Croatian?
Well, when I was in Spurs and I was about to leave to United, Luka Modric came in. So we had a couple of training sessions, some friendly games as well. So you can see straight away a talent, you know? And after that, he achieved greatness. And back in the day in Leverkusen, I used to play with Croatian players in the team, Kovac brothers, Živkovic, you know, so I always been around Balkan players and we always stick together.
Did you have like a friendly rivalry?
Friendly rivalry, sometimes yes, especially on the pitch. Even with from the Balkans, we know each other, we are brothers, but on the pitch, there's no brothers, there's no family. You play against me, I'll try to beat you, nothing personal.
And you guys are very competitive too.
We are, but listen, because I was lucky enough to play for United, and when I stepped into that environment of winners, then I finally realized what it is to be in this type of environment. So nothing personal. We go on the training, you play against me, I will beat you. I don't care who you are, I need to beat you because I'll be the first place. So along the process, if you're in this type of environment, if you want to learn, the environment will accept you. If you don't want to learn, the environment will kick you out.
And you said you learned that at United?
Well, because I went 2008. So in the previous year they won the treble. So they were already winners, right? Big winners. So Ronaldo was there, Rooney, Giggsy, Scholes, all these big name players. And me coming from the Balkans, from a small country like Bulgaria, going into there, I was starting to think to myself, do I deserve to be here? Oh my God, look at all the players. Where do I sit? What do I say? How do I look? Do I look stupid? You know, all this self-belief and doubt creeps in. And you need to be strong mentally to succeed in this type of environment and to tell yourself, like I did, wait a minute, you know, I have conversation with myself, wait a minute, I worked my ass off to come here, so I deserve to be here. And I need to stay strong and to prove myself, of course, on the pitch and to show to the boys that yes, I'm the new guy, but I want to be here, guys. I want to learn from you. Because when you go into an environment like this, you're going to be provoked. They're going to push you, they're going to show you, they're going to scream at you, they're going to curse at you on the pitch. Then is the moment for you to give something back, stay strong, to show, yeah, all right, don't worry, but I'll do this. You do your job, I'll do my job, you know. Be like at the prison. You go to prison, you want to prove yourself, you go and beat up the strongest guy to show everybody I'm here. All right, don't mess with me. I'll do my best for everybody, but don't mess with me.
That's a good example. I mean, I've never been to prison, but I'd imagine that's what it's like.
I always say to the young players back home, this is what winners do. Even back then when I was watching, because I watched different sports, Michael Jordan, you know, Muhammad Ali, all these great sportsmen.
Michael Jordan.
And Michael Jordan was always testing his teammates, always provoking them in a way to see what they're made of, so he knows he can trust them, so they can play with you. So the same is with United. The biggest players there were always going to test you to see what you're made of. And if you hold your own, they're going to give you respect and vice versa.
Did you watch The Last Dance, the Michael Jordan documentary?
If somebody didn't watch that thing, go and watch it. That is something beautiful.
Yes.
Of course, some people can find it a bit controversial, but for me, it shows you greatness, because Michael Jordan for me was great, and how he done things his way.
It's one of my favorite things to watch, and sometimes I need to watch it again as a reminder.
Yeah.
Even the way that he would find, there was one time he's at a restaurant, and the guy doesn't shake his hand, and he made it up in his head. It doesn't even exist.
All right.
Did you use
I
sometimes
took it
this?
personal. I took it personal.
I took it personal. He even got emotional.
I
He
love
started
that.
crying.
Yeah. Maybe with me was not to that extent, but the truly great athletes, Jordan, like Ali, as I said, and other truly great, they probably do stuff like this. Even if they drive a car, if someone passes them on, they'll be like, oh, wait a minute, push
Okay.
the pedal, let's do it. I want to be first. I caught myself from time to time doing the same thing, even now, back in the day as well. But this type of greatness that Jordan has, this was different level.
Yes.
This was something that he has in him probably nobody taught him. It was just inside him to prove to everybody, I am the man. Sometimes I think it shows up differently with different people. For example, Messi, I don't think Messi probably is doing the same thing. But he is also very competitive and he wants to show, like he's one of the best with Ronaldo, different leagues. But I think everybody, depending on their personality, will use different approach to go to that greatness level.
We saw it a little bit too in the World Cup, and I kind of love to see that side of Messi. Remember with the Netherlands players, he's like, Kimira Bobo, Kimira.
Yeah,
and it was like
sometimes.
nice to see that from him
But
too.
this is the moment probably where he was really pushed to that extent, almost to show his other side, where, hey, you can kick me around, I get up, I continue to play, I say nothing. But there's a point where you've provoked me enough, I'll show my dirty side as well.
Who was the most similar player in the locker room to maybe this Michael Jordan type competitiveness?
Well, back in the day with United, I think you have Wayne Rooney as well, because he was very competitive, but not selfish in any way. He's gonna try to make you look good, always. He was gonna sacrifice for you. When he needed to be nasty, on the pitch, I'm telling you, chasing people, kicking people, I was swearing at people, I don't care who you are, just for the name of winning, for the team, not purely because of him, for the team. Paul Scholes sometimes also can be really, really nasty on the pitch, one of the best midfield player ever. He was very quiet, very into his own world, a bubble, but on the pitch, trust me, if you want to do something to you, you're gonna do it.
They always say, we hear stories from the outside of players like Cristiano Ronaldo, for example, that they try to show up even to the gym before you, just to put a psychological edge to say, I'm here to really
I was lucky and privileged, obviously, to play with so many good players. With Ronaldo, we shared dressing room for 1 year when I went there. And the stories are true because everybody can testify that you have players who are just purely motivated, knowing their talent, and obviously they probably have a good team around them, a good environment, people who want to make you better than you already are. And Ronaldo was in the same, in the great place, in the great time, with the great people around him, in the dressing room, outside the dressing room, his own motivation to show everybody I can be one of the greatest. And that requires coming first into the training, prepare for training, train like you're supposed to train, like you play official game. After the training, is it a stretch, is it an extra finishing, is it a sauna, is it a pool, is it a gym? You do it. And that's how in the end he became one of the GOATs, right?
Early on, did you guys used to bully him a little bit and mess with him in the locker room?
Before I came there was stories going around that obviously when you're a young boy, young football players, you want to show how good you are, right? You get the ball and you want to go past everybody. And obviously Rio, Vida, Scorsese, Roy Keane when he was there as well. When I spoke with them, I was telling story that at first, like I just told you in our conversation, you come into our environment. You have a talent, no worries. But if you try to make fool of us, we're gonna kick the shit out of you. Sorry. And they probably teach him that way of, you have talent, but you need to put your talent to work for the team. All right, you need to know when to pass the ball, when to dribble with the ball, when to be the guy who is gonna get us out of trouble, because we're gonna sacrifice for you. We're gonna do everything that possibly can for you. We'll give you the ball, and then you do your job. But you need to help us as well sometimes. We're gonna teach you when to pass, when to shoot, when to dribble. And this is how it is in the big teams. They teach you differently. Sometimes with a kick, with a push, with a scream. Sometimes a bit more polite, depending who you are, how people treat you. But in the case of Ronaldo, this is what I heard.
But it's in a good way, right? It's in a way to help you improve,
Not impersonal.
not in a bad way.
It's not impersonal. It's never personal. If you take it personal, then it's not going to be good for you. Of course, sometimes there are situations where back in the day there were fights in the dressing room, in the pitch, for small things like we play a small-sided game.
Tell us a story. Give us one.
Small-sided games, and it's very competitive because everybody wants to win. And the assistant coach is the referee. And there is a tackle or whatever. And
Between who?
I think there was a Patrice Evra, and I don't remember who was the other one. But Patrice is a defender. I think someone a tackle or whatever, and you go into the tackle. You get the ball, or you don't get the ball, depending who you ask. And someone from the opposite team say, "Oh, coach, it's a foul." But Patrice Evra or someone else say, "Hey, no, it's not a foul." So the assistant coach is sitting. He's the referee. He's wondering what to do. Is it a foul? Is it not a foul? And everybody start arguing and fighting, and the assistant coach like, I don't want to be a referee. He go into the dressing room, and now we are left onto the pitch by ourselves, and we are like, don't mind him. Go inside, then no problem. And we fight a bit, but then it's like, let's continue, guys. Let's play for the love of the game. We play, and again, when you finish, what happened on the pitch stays on the pitch. It's not impersonal, my friends. It's not impersonal. I just want to win. That's it. Competitive side. When you go into a dressing room, all done. You cannot love everybody in a team. You like someone, you are very good friends with the other person, someone you don't like, but he is in your team, he is in your dressing room, but you play for the same team. On the pitch, if he is in the better position, you give him the ball. You give him the ball because he's going to do something that's going to help everybody, and you don't take it personal. That's how I saw it back in the day, and in my mind, that's how it should be.
100%. Do you think that that's sometimes lost right now? Especially, you look at the situation Manchester United is in, it feels like from the outside, of course, that maybe that competitiveness, that spirit is not, the culture maybe is different.
In a way, yes, because life is different. Football is a bit different as well. Players also are a bit different. Sometimes, if we're talking about United, maybe that, I don't know if people can understand me correctly, that nastiness on the pitch, to have 3 or 4 players who are the dirty players, who are the players who will be like, don't worry, I'll deal with him. I'll get the ball, I'll scare him, and I'll give the ball to you, you shine. Sometimes you need players like this. For example, Darren Fletcher in our team. Darren Fletcher was one of the most important players in the team, also John O'Shea, because these are the, how do you say in English, the players who do the dirty works, and the spotlight is never on them.
Yes.
But they will sacrifice for you, and they know their position into the team. They are happy to sacrifice for the team and for you, and they feel good because of this. And then you need to give them the applause and the credit, and everybody did that in the dressing room, because we all knew without players like this, it's going to be more difficult for us to do our job. And in today, for example, in Manchester United, maybe that type of work like Casemiro was doing in Real Madrid, they need to find more players like this who are going to be there and strike fear into the opposition. Because when you go into play United back in the day, into the tunnel, when I see the other team and we are lined up to go and to play, I already know they lost the game. I already know they lost the game.
Really?
Because that fear factor and that here thinking, I was always the last to stay, and I see in front of me Ronaldo, Rooney, Giggs, Scholes, Van der Sar, and then I'm checking the other team, and I'm like, I know, boys, I know. It's a big team, but they all earn their greatness. It's not given to them, they earn it. And now you need to face them, us, and it's going to be difficult. And sometimes they lost the game even before we go into the pitch. Honestly, because
that's such a beautiful culture that you sent too, because obviously the really talented players, they're the ones that the kids want to have the jersey, the names on the back. But for you guys to be self-aware within the squad and say we need to give props to the ones that win the ball back, that allow us to do that greatness.
Of course, the really true players, the really great players, even if they don't say it enough, after the game, during the game, into the training session, they're always going to be, you're the guy. You know, you fight for the ball and you give it to me, and I appreciate that. Thank you. You know, because sometimes these type of players, they don't get the recognition. So that's why, because every time when I score a goal, the first guy I went to say thank you was the guy who passed me the ball. Yes. I was not celebrating because, yeah, look at me, I scored a goal. I always go and say thank you because you made me look good, you know, and it go back the chain. Because you passed me the ball, I scored. But before you, there was another guy who took the ball and gave it to you. So it's always a chain, you know, and you need to admit and to say thank you to the people connected with the chain, basically the whole team. And this way you have respect of everybody. Because it's not about one player, it's about the whole team. One player can get you out of trouble if he is the most talented. But he also needs the team around him most of the time.
It's a beautiful way to describe a team. One other thing that I love about your Instagram is you love posting these videos with the ball and just a wall. No shoes on, no equipment. I was telling you last night, sometimes even in America, we're so focused on having the nice shoes, the grass is cut perfect, but then you promote saying you don't need much to really build skill.
Well, you don't actually, because back in the day when I growing up was different, obviously. But now, when you look around, there's also a ways you can train yourself if you are up into that way of living that you want to train, you don't have friends around you, and now you are stuck thinking, what do I do now? Well, the easiest way to train your skills, you find a ball, you find a wall. Now while we're talking, I'm looking at the wall over there.
There's one right there too.
And in my mind, it's like, I can train to that wall because you see how the O is not even, right?
Yeah.
It's going up and down.
It's a little curve.
So this is going to be more difficult because the ball is going to jump in a different direction. So that wall is even better, but it's more challenging because when you kick the ball against this wall, the ball is not going to come back to you straight line. It's going to shuffle a little bit. And then you are challenged. Coordination, anticipation, balance, reaction, everything that you have in the game. So this is one of the most, not easiest, oldest, simplest exercise that is going to help you, guarantee 100%, judging by myself, to develop your touch of the ball, your first touch, your coordination, your speed, because you need to move depending how you kick the ball. And barefoot is also important because you're connected with the ground. You're grounding in a way. And you train your muscle in the foot here also because sometimes in today's shoes, they make it a bit more soft, which make the muscle more lazy. But when you're barefoot, you train your feet, everything that is up the chain as well.
Maybe you give us a lesson afterwards, outside. Maybe you could improve me.
Well, I need to be in the mood for all this, you know? I need to know that I am in the zone, thinking now my mood is talking to you.
After you eat.
Maybe yes, maybe not. I cannot promise you this.
No promises, okay.
But if I need to give an advice to young players who always ask me, how can I improve my touch? If you're a professional youth player, you have your training session, obviously, right? But when you have time, when you have a day off, a garden, or whatever, find a ball. Even if you don't have a wall, find a ball. But if you have a wall, have a ball as well, because without a ball, it's not going to happen. So find a ball. The only thing I was doing back in the day was kicking the ball high in the air and control it. Kick high, stop. Kick high, stop. Sounds stupid, probably. Sounds silly. But that exercise shaped how I stopped the ball.
Wow.
And then, after that, the next phase was finding the wall. But back in the day, there was walls, but I was practicing on my garage door, which I imagine it was a big goal. I was playing a big game, and I was imagining scoring big goals, lifting trophies. That's how it was back in the day.
Was your family okay with you hitting the garage door?
Come on.
They didn't care.
They didn't care because it was a garage door, solid garage door.
So no window around it.
No windows. But even if I cannot practice in outside, I was practicing in my home. I just found a small space and just kick the ball. Even if it's 1 meter long, you still train the habit of passing it right, left,
For
right.
how long would you do that? Like hours?
Even more, because remember, back in the day there was no telephones, there are no social medias, there was nothing. So sometimes out of boredom, you are forced to do stuff. And if you do the stuff that you love, even better.
I spoke to Antonio Cassano, you know Cassano, right? And he told me that he's actually mad that his kids now, they train on perfect pitches.
Yeah.
And he said he grew up on the street. And he was telling me even sometimes the cobblestone, he loved it because the ball would bounce in a slightly different way and it would improve his touch.
The same what I told you about the wall. If the wall is uneven, it's made of stones, and every stone is a different shape. When you hit the ball against the wall is going to jump a different direction. And then you need to react. Be quick, anticipate. The same when the pitch is bad. Is it the grass, is the concrete, it doesn't matter. If it's bad, the ball is not going to travel perfectly. It's going to jump, it's going to bounce. Now you need to know how to stop it, you know? And that's how you train your instinct and everything.
So would you recommend for a kid out there to do it on a surface like that first or a flat one?
Constantly try to, what is the word? To
Mix it?
To mix it, yeah, to mix it. One day you train on a perfect pitch. The next day challenge yourself. Go where the pitch is not that good. Test yourself with the wall, with the ball. Always test yourself, because yes, in today's world, if you play in a big team, probably the chances of playing on a big pitch, on a good pitch, are greater. But if you play in a small team and you need to travel to a different country where the conditions are not the best, right? And the pitches may be a bad condition, then you need to be ready. So basically, you need to be ready for the good pitch and for the bad pitch. And you need to challenge yourself and to train for conditions like this.
So the false nine is something that we hear a lot these days. And I saw a story, you say that you invented the false nine. Can you explain that?
Well, if you watch my clips on YouTube, go find my clips, and you will see how I used to play the game of football. You will see that my game obviously was based around scoring goals because I was a striker. And this was what was required of me, to score goals. But in my mind, I was thinking, it's not only about the goals. I want to be in touch with the ball. I want to dance with the ball. I want to pass the ball in the best way possible. I want to make my teammates also look good. Sometimes I'll be tired. I want to drop back, get the ball, because when I have the ball, I'm resting with the ball. I'm not fighting with the ball, because I know how to touch. Some players, they don't know how to touch the ball and they get tired because they are fighting with the ball. For me, it was opposite. When I had the ball, I rest because I know how to touch, how to control. So that's why I was dropping deep into the midfield and I was demanding the ball. Give me the ball. And they were giving me the ball because they knew that I have a good touch and I can keep the ball. And the moment when I keep the ball, even before the ball comes to me, I already was watching who is moving, like a chess game. Who is moving where? And I knew if I needed to make one touch pass or stop and then pass the ball. And dropping deep, I was always playing like a 9.5 or sometime number 10 because I enjoy that. And if you ask me what did I enjoy more, scoring a goal or making an assist, I'll probably tell you making a good assist.
Really?
Yeah. Because I will do the dirty work in a way, although the assist is not the dirty work, and then I'll make you look good. And you score, you shine, and then you come and say, thanks, Berba. And I'll say, no worry, my friend.
Who do you think does it the best right now? Who's like top 3 center forwards that you see doing this consistently?
Well, center forward, in a way of center forward, because there is difference between a goal scorer who scores goals and a really good football player. You can score a lot of goals, but maybe you're not a good football player. You can be a really good football player, but you cannot score enough goals.
Can you give me an example?
There's a difference. Goal scorers who really score goals, but also a good football player, is Harry Kane.
Yes.
Because Harry Kane reminds me of myself. Even when he was in Spurs, dropping back, dropping deep, getting the ball, the passes, the reading of the game, knowing where his teammates is going to move, how he needs to pass the ball, the speed of the ball. And then when he goes up to the pitch, scoring goals, just for fun. He's a machine. Lewandowski, the same way. Knowing how to play with teammates, dropping deep, scoring goal. Maybe he's more center forward than Harry Kane, but the same qualities, pretty much the same qualities. And I love watching these players. I'm not even mentioning Messi and Ronaldo because everybody knows about them, right? The other one, Kevin De Bruyne, in his prime. I mean, I don't think he needed any coaching because he was a chess master. He knows how you move, how to pass the ball. He knew, because I watched the games, his teammates on which foot he needs to pass the ball to, because that foot was his strongest of his teammates. Because this is also very important. If you're right-footed, pass the ball to his right foot because the chances of mistakes are not that great. If your foot is weaker, then the chance of mistake is bigger. Now, if you play with both of your feet perfectly, then it's the best case scenario. But this type of things you need to know, you need to smell them. You need to know how your teammate plays, which way he turns. Does he prefer to turn right or he turns left? This is where, and this is how you pass him the ball, with that speed. If he's more technically gifted, give him a strong pass and don't worry about it. If he's not that gifted, a bit slower pass to make life easy for him. So this type of players like Xavi, Iniesta, I love watching them, man. I love watching them when I played twice against them. My neck was like this. I have cramps in my neck after the game.
The ball was hidden.
Because they didn't sprint, but they just play around you. Because the game of football, people forget, is a simple game for smart people. Simple game for smart people. And if you know how to utilize your strong quality and you think, you're always going to outsmart the opposition. Always. Unless the opposition is smarter than you.
Well said, well said. To end on that note, Manchester United obviously need a number 9, right? Somebody. There's so many names out there, and even I sometimes get confused on which the profile could be. There's Gyökeres, there's Isak, there's an Osimhen. Who do you think fits that profile where they actually can do all of those things, and they're not just the goal scorer, but they can help the team play good football?
Well, the first name, because I watch him so many times, probably is the same name I just told you, is a Harry Kane. Harry Kane type of player. But if you ask me general, the striker, the passer, I can go back in time, to Di Stefanos, players that maybe the new generation don't know enough. This type of players. Football was different back then, but still, what a players. But one guy who always going to be mentioned, no matter what, is R9. This is probably the goats of goats. He was loved unconditionally probably from everybody. I had the chance to play against him and see greatness firsthand. And I think all strikers, midfield or whatever will agree that guy was ahead of his time, and he was from another planet in a way, because the way he used to play football, how he enjoyed it with a smile, even the injuries he had, still overcame them, and everything that he done, and the way he was dancing with the ball. Oh man, I still watch clips for him to this day.
Really?
Yeah, because that was the guy who was just dancing with the ball. This is poetry in motion. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
So you said goat of all goats. So even better Messi and Ronaldo, you think?
The thing with Messi and Ronaldo was, and that is the most important part for every football player and every team, consistency. To do something consistently for 15 years like Messi and Ronaldo's and be on the higher level, that requires obviously ambition, talent, stubbornness, and consistency to be all the time there, outside, training, producing, proving people wrong when they doubt you, and that consistency is one of the most important factor if you want to be great. And these two players, Messi and Ronaldo, they had that consistency for so long, and that's why one of the things that made them great. With R9, unfortunately for him, his career was had some bad injuries, which prevented him probably to reach even more greatness. But I guarantee you, because I watch my ex-colleagues, I watch this type of stuff on YouTube or TikTok or whatever, when they ask, who is the guy? Everybody most of the time say R9. Honestly, this guy was something else. And I put him on the same level with Messi, Ronaldo, if not sometimes a bit higher, because he played in my position. I can also say Van Basten, but that's different type of player. Again, career cut short because of a big injury, you know. And I remember watching him farewell on the stadium, running around, making a lap of honor, waving, everybody crying with him. I watching him and I'm crying on the TV as well. I was so sad, man, because he was another one.
Different generation.
Different generation, but 3 golden balls, and he stopped playing at 28.
Wow.
28, he stopped playing football.
I didn't realize.
And by that age, he already had 3 golden balls, European Championship, Serie A with Milan, everything. And I read his biography as well. I mean, but this is a different story.
One of your idols. Dimitar, I really appreciate your time. I hope you enjoy Croatia, and I hope you enjoy the Sunset Sports Festival.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.